welcome back to Gamecasters, and today I will be going over the Witch Doctor's top build on the leaderboards for Season 19 of Diablo 3. This is February 18th of 2020, and I will be going over the gear and skills for this build in this video. So starting off, we are looking for the Dagger of Darts with damage, intelligence, attack speed, and crit hit damage, and intelligence for our augmented item. Now, as usual, I will go over this. Your cubed items and your equipped items can be alternated back and forth depending on which one you have the better variant of. So if you have a primal ancient of one of your normally cubed items, that item can be equipped rather than cubed. The reason I say this is because your equipped item is not defaultly maxed out as it would be in the cube. So you could grab a garbage version of any item that goes in the cube and just put it in the cube and it'll be a maxed out variant. However, for your equipped one, you want the best one you can get, which is, as you can tell here, with a Primal Ancient Dagger of Darts, it has everything maxed out, and there was only one re-rolled stat on this for the attack speed. Otherwise, this is pretty much a perfect piece of gear for this build. Moving on, for the gloves, we are looking for the stone gauntlets. Same as for the wizard's build, these will have attack speed, crit hit damage, crit hit chance, and then intelligence for the augment, as well as reduced cooldowns of all skills by 8%. Next up is our shoulders, which will be the mantle of channeling. These will have intel, vitality, life, and intelligence for the augment. This person has re-rolled for Fetish Army damage for the Witch Doctor. That is a maxed out re-roll for 15%. Next up, we will have the Aqua Cuirass for our chest piece. This will have Intel, Vitality, and Intelligence for the augment, as well as a 14% Fetish Army damage. This is a potentially re-rolled stat, which can be maxed out at a 15%. Which this person has not re-rolled for yet, but that is still a good piece of equipment. Moving on, we have Karn Evil, which will be the intelligence, vitality, life, crit hit chance, and then intel from our augment. And then they re-rolled for the socket, and they have the purple gem in there. The name leaves my mind at the moment. But yes, purple gem for that. For the necklace, we are looking for Squirt's Necklace, which will have poison skill damage, intel, crit hit damage, and intelligence from our augment. It will also be socketed with Simplicity Strength as our legendary gem. And they had to re-roll for the socket on this piece of equipment. For our bracers, we're looking for Lacumba's Ornament, with a plus 20% poison skill damage, which they did roll for, so your poison skill damage is something you will be looking for. Intelligence, crit hit chance, and life per hit, as well as intelligence for the augmented piece of stat. For our offhand, we'll be having the Acapian Serpent, which will have damage, intel, vitality, crit hit chance, and intelligence for our augmented stat. This will also have poison dart damage on it, which they re-rolled for. Chance to immobilize on hit is not an important stat, but it is a secondary stat that can be potentially on this, as well as I'm sure others. But as for the stats you're looking for goes, you are looking for poison dart damage on that, as well as your crit hit chance. For our rings, we'll need Unity and Convention of Elements. For our Unity, we'll have attack speed, crit hit chance, and intelligence for the augment, as well as it being socketed with an enforcer, and it will also have damage to elite enemies on there. This person did reroll for the attack speed, so they got a pretty decent one here. Is a primal, so they only had to reroll one stat for something they needed. Moving on, we have the Convention of Elements, which will have crit hit damage, crit hit chance, and socketed with a Legacy of Dreams, which it looks like they re-rolled for their crit hit damage, which that can be re-rolled for a maximum of 50%. They have a 45 on there, which is still pretty good. For our boots, we will have the Ice Climbers, which will have Intel, Vitality, Resist All Elements, Damage from Cold Attacks, and Intelligence from the Augment. Now, this person did reroll for Vitality. The damage from cold attacks and resist all elements is not a prioritized stat. These also have movement speed on them, which I'm sure is somewhere along the lines of being useful. Uh, for our pants, we'll have Depth Diggers, socketed with Topaz. We'll have Intelligence, Vitality, Intelligence for the Augment, and then Poison Dart damage on those as well. For our belt, we'll have the Witching Hour, statted on Vitality, attack speed, crit hit damage, and Intelligence for our Augment, with a plus 14 Poison Dart damage, which can be rolled again for a maximum of 15%, and this person has re-rolled that stat. And moving on to our skills, we will need Horrify with Frightening Aspect, Poison Dart with Spined Dart, Summon Zombie Dogs with Leeching Beasts, Soul Harvest with Languish, Spirit Walk with Severance, and Piranhas with Piranado, or Piranado, however you want to pronounce that one. For our passive, we will need Pierce the Veil, Spirit Vessel, Fetish Sycophants, and Grave Injustice. And for our cubed items, we'll be looking for Echoing Fury, Mask of Jeram, and Oculus Ring. Now again, like I said, any of these could be swapped out for the equivalent piece of gear, depending on which one you get the better of. So your Echoing Fury could be swapped out with the Dagger of Darts. You could have your Oculus Ring swapped out for either the Convention of the Elements or Unity. And then as far as the Mask of Jeram goes, you could swap that out for your Carnival, whichever one you get the better variant of. Now, you can experiment with your passives and your secondary stats, and you can also change up however you want these slotted. This is just the order that this person has them set to, so whichever one works for you best, and you can experiment with your cubed to equipped items however you like, as long as you have these pieces of gear equipped. Or if you find something to experiment and make it better, that is also up to you. But I'm just here to tell you what is topping out on the leaderboard. Now, this build has gone to GR 125 as of February 18th, 2020. So I will keep you guys updated if anything changes as far as gear goes, or if this can climb any further. That I will leave down in the comments. I think that will cover everything for this build. You guys can let me know down in the comments if there's anything I missed or you have questions about. I will do my best to get back to you on those. And if you like this video and you want to keep updated on the gear builds and stuff for Diablo 3, you can hit the subscribe button and hit like if this helped you out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.